I don't want to be the doom and gloom guy. There's certainly lots of problems ahead, that's for sure. But big problems equal big opportunities. So rather than sit back in fear and be paralyzed with fear and feel like a victim, I look at it like, okay, so this is going to create opportunity, and what can I do to capitalize on that? So we see the problems, we understand the problems, but we don't get paralyzed with fear. We make plans to prosper. So, yeah, certainly what we know through history is that the majority of wealth has been created in these bear markets, in these times of trouble. Uh, one, one of my least favorite people, George Soros, he likes to tear down nations so he can profit rebuilding them. So the money is made in that problem that creates the opportunity. So to your point, yes, a couple things that we can do. One, uh, you can make money when markets go down. Today there's dozens of ETFs that I can literally just with a push of a button. I don't have to know options. I don't have to know shorting, leverage. I don't have to know none of that. I can literally just buy a reverse ETF, and just when the whatever S&P Nasdaq goes down, I make money. So why not just make money when it goes down? That's one. Two, yes, having cash on hand, as we call it, dry gunpowder, to take advantage of these opportunities. The thing that I am very heavy cash right now. um, I was as high as 50% cash. Now I'm kind of more down to about 35% cash right now. And I'm waiting for, hopefully, I'll get a very good entry into the commercial real estate market, specifically around large multifamily properties. That would be, 100 units or more. That's what I'm looking for. And that's only because we're all different. But at this stage in my career and my life, I'm starting to really invest for more cash flow than growth. So I own a bunch of Bitcoin, so I have the growth side figured out, but I also want to start buying more and more cash flow. And I think large multifamily properties are a really good way to do that. And going back to what I said, this $2.92 trillion hole in this market, I think over the next 9 to maybe 12 months, there will be a big opportunity there in the United States specifically. And I'm sure most of the developed world, to your point earlier, inflation going high, people can't afford it. We're literally seeing that people were buying these large multifamily, apartment buildings, and the banks were giving them like 5% down loans. And now that the rates went up, they can't afford it. They're literally just giving the keys back to the bank. And now the bank is just already, I mean, just in the last couple months, have been just taking back huge amounts of this. The banks can't hold this, so they have to dump it. I've lived through this before. I started my career in real estate after a big crash in the early 90s. I lived through 2008. And so I think that could create a massive buying opportunity to get back in cheap. And so that's kind of one thing I'm licking my lips about. I have a newsletter that we write, and we kind of have a system. So we help people really hone in and identify exactly where it is they're going and help them think through all that. We have a bunch of tools and sheets they can use, and then also then figure out where they're at, and then help them make that plan. So the system is a series of questionnaires and tools that we have to help you identify, be clear on that, and then we have the newsletter that then identifies which assets that you should be buying. And we kind of put them into 4 buckets, or as I call them, 4 pillars. So investing for growth. This kind of gets back to the Bitcoin stuff, the commodities, things like that. Energy, investing for cash flow. Of course, I talked about that. Keeping cash as one of the 4 pillars. And then I call chaos hedge insurance. This is gold and things like that. And so then once you figured out what your exact allocations are, where you're going, where you're at, then we write the newsletter that recommends the assets that you could put in that, tracks them in a portfolio, has a community so everybody could be in there sharing information, working together towards a common goal. And it's been really successful. I've been writing that for several years. And it's a lot of fun. Hey, this is Mark Moss, and you are watching Think Smart Education.